Rabbi Yoel told me that it was Erev Pesach, I think Tovshin Yud Beis, maybe Tovshin Yud Aleph, but it's definitely in the beginning of the Nesias Mamish in the beginning, that he was in 770, and it was still a time that the Rebbe would come into the Maskirus office if he needed something to get or to bring. So the Rebbe walked out of his room, came to the Maskirus office, and there was nobody there. The only one that was around was Rabbi Yoel. And together with him was Rabbi Chadakov's son. He was a little boy then, Sholom Yisroel. And the Rebbe said to Rabbi Yoel, asked him if he could type for him a letter. He had needed a letter to be typed, and there was nobody else there. So Rabbi Yoel said right away, yes. So the Rebbe told him what to type, and the Rebbe also gave him a sefer and showed him a few lines from the sefer that he's supposed to copy out in the letter. And he showed him which lines to do and in the letter. And the Rebbe told him that he's going to go back into his own room, and in a few minutes later he'll come to the office, Maskirus, and he's going to pick up the letter to take it. So the Rebbe walked out, and Rabbi Yoel started typing the letter, and the Sholom Yisroel was drinks out there around there. A few minutes passed, and the Rebbe came to pick up the letter, but Rabbi Yoel wasn't finished yet. But the Rebbe saw that he's almost finished, so the Rebbe stood there waiting for him to finish. But in the meantime, while the Rebbe was waiting, he turns around to Sholom Yisroel, and he says to him, Favos bist du nicht im Cheder heint, or yeshiva, I don't know which lashon he used. And he said, because today's Erev Pesach, there's no yeshiva, no cheder. So the Rebbe took the sefer that he gave Rabbi Yoel to copy from, and he mished to the back of the page, the last page, and he showed Sholom Yisroel the number. He says to him, you see how many pages this sefer has? And then the Rebbe pointed to the shafes in the Maskirus office, and he said, and you see all these Seforim? And he said to him, when wirst du werden klar die alle Seforim? When will you become knowledgeable in all these Seforim? If you're not going to yeshiva, if you're not learning today, then you're missing out in getting to know all these Seforim, which means the Rebbe was hinting to him that you always have to learn. And when he said he's not learning today because there's no yeshiva, that's not an answer. But the way he put it to him, he said, when wirst du werden klar in dem Sefer? He showed him the end of this Sefer, when wirst du werden klar in the alle andere Seforim? This is what Rabbi Yoel told me. He listened and he heard this. And by that time, he finished the letter and he gave it to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe went back into his room.